Okay. Hi, back. So Danny Jones did a podcast with I think it was 2 days ago. Son of a monkey's butt nugget. Here we go. Oh, Danny Goller, Goler, new DMT experiment finds alien code hidden in the fabric of reality. He just decoded the Matrix. Is all. That's all. So this is. I've noticed this too, that there's an overlay. So mine's different. I don't need the DMT thing. Which is why I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna take a break from reading for a while, because it's coming in and it's just like, okay, I got a whole different box that I'm trying to sift through, find all these lovely little tools and whatnot. And it is a challenge to get through, because, like, again, I'm seeing this. I can see this crystal clear. It's finding the logos for it. It's trying to help you understand that the dimensions are... all I can tell you is go watch The Matrix again, and then go watch The Dark Crystal. So he was so, oh God, and he used the word tapestry, and I was like, yes, a tapestry. Yes, he gets it. It's a tapestry, and that we're all weaving a tapestry in our own life, but that tapestry gets woven into the fabric of society. Ooh, my goodness. So this is so important for people to understand. Yes, we are weaving our own narratives, and it does have an effect on society, whether you want it to or not. So this 2D narrative has an effect on society, as in global war and endless freak-offs manifesting in society. Okay. The only problem with that is you don't understand the complexities of the Matrix, because the people subscribing to the narrative that is endless war and freak-offs and whatever the heck else, which is the religious narrative, okay? Again, I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to say his name because I really don't want him here. But there's a dude that does the Greek thing. You can look it up. Danny Jones did a podcast. He referenced him in that video. Go watch the video. You go there. I stay over here. He's just got a different way of doing things, and I think that his congregation, for the most part, are really cool. It's just there's just I can't put my finger on it. I don't really want to speak too much about it, but, like, don't get involved with the communities. Just go observe, learn, take, documents and whatever else. Like, take those mental notes down and carry on with your life. Do not invest. There's something ain't right. So, and I don't think it has anything to do with trying to get away from the narrative, because it feels like they're trolling the religious people, but what they fail to understand, with all the wisdom that's in that community, and it is glorious, for all the intellect and knowledge in that community, they have not brought it to a place of wisdom, and I don't think they're going to get there, because there's certain power things at play. But what's really important is that you take that understanding of what the text actually originally said. You take that knowledge of the medical information that they were dabbling in, okay? And understand that this is the narrative that the 2D is running off of. So when I say 2D, I mean religious. I'm just going to keep referring to religious community narratives as 2D. Okay. And I'll try to keep stating that as I go forward. So the religious narrative is not doing so hot right now because they put their energy and time again into a false prophet. What they would probably call a false prophet. Okay, they're all false. Okay, their second coming came and he didn't kill himself. Yeah, that's what the original text says. Okay, this is a hard pill to swallow, and I understand that, but some of us are up on other levels, so we're just looking down and observing. Right now, I'm just reporting back to you the manifestations of the 2D narrative that I see in front of me. Okay. So for right now, the 5D or the 4D, no, the 3D or the 4D, the 5D is up here. 3D or 4D is mourning something right now because they realize they might have been breadcrumbed and not on stable ground just yet. Their emotions, so this is why I feel like it's more of the 3D, because 4D is kind of it's hard to explain again with this logos, but for the most part, it's where the addicts get trapped. So there's people who do medicinal drugs for spiritual expansion and growth and renewal and healing, and then there's people who do it just to escape the entire existence of reality and not do anything but just be addicted to drugs. Okay, that's 4D. Okay. Okay, addicts are excruciatingly intelligent human beings who have been deprived of stimulation, and when they have to sit with the reality of waiting around in the 2D, they get really traumatized. They are very sensitive souls, hence why they need the drugs to get through it, because it offers them a release that they don't find. Okay, so there's a fallback narrative, and they'll find themselves trapped in the 4D because they have not progressed and done the inner work. Because the moment they progress on that inner work, that 2D steps right in at AA and says, hey, welcome back. We love you. Jesus loves you. Okay, setting them right back on that trauma narrative, which got them to switch their addiction to something else in the first place, because the cortisol, adrenaline, serotonin, oxytocin, dopamines, and endorphins that stream through your system on the 2D narrative needs to be replaced with something else. When you're addicted to a chemical substance, you're going to reach for alcohol, cigarettes, weed, whatever the hell it is, just to numb that trauma down. Okay, and then oftentimes it gets to be too much, so you need to reach for something harder. Okay, and again, it was created to be a healing process. Unfortunately, the 2Ders back in the day took it and did horrible things to themselves and each other. And yeah, when you go to that particular channel, you're gonna need to buckle up, Buttercup, because it's tough. It's a lot of difficult narratives to sift through. So, which is why I think he just has his own way of dealing with stuff, because it's pretty brutal. So he's got his own catharsis to deal with the fact that he's got to wait around in that narrative. So we come to a deeper understanding of how these manifestations keep happening when we're like, I don't recall asking for society to start doing horrible things to women and children. I don't ever recall putting that out, even on a subconscious level. So what's going on here? That's what's going on here. Okay. They're hitting their knees for the brutalization of women and children. And the sick part about it is women are like, yay, go! And we're like, the rest of us are all standing there like, really? Okay. So you have to understand the subconscious of this program is self-hatred. And that self-hatred, when forbidden to do the self-hatred act, the ultimate self-hatred act, then gets turned into, I'm gonna project everything outward. I'm gonna project everything outward. So the unaliving turns into outward unaliving. Does that make sense? Okay. You cannot be a Ham without being a Sue. I hope that makes sense. You think it's possible. You think it's possible. It's not. Nope. And it doesn't matter that the cereals have wanted to live, even though they were doing the cereal thing and they fought for their own life. That doesn't matter. Just because they fought for it doesn't mean they feel like they're worthy of blah 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 blah. They are in complete and utter projection mode. Okay. So that which you bring out into the universe, into reality, is your inner world. And that what's your environment is your inner world. It creates the cells. And so if you clean up your environment, you change your environment, your inner world becomes more sanctified. So that way, when you go out into the world, you bring that sanctity to the world. Okay, so that's kind of the aim, the goal, the purpose. Now, are we supposed to get it right 100% of the time? Are we supposed to be saintly? No. No. There's pleasures here that are meant to be enjoyed and held sacred for. The problem is, the issue is finding the other humans are going to do that with you. So it's a difficult process to work yourself through and get on the path that speaks to you the most, because a lot of people that grew up with this are in BDSM communities. Oh Lord, watch me get a freaking strike. I already know I'm not gonna get monetized, but I'm gonna get a strike now. Oh my goodness. Okay, so but that's how they need to live their life in order to work through that trauma, because that's a complete and utter trust in another human being, which, boy, do I applaud those people, because I could not even. Oh, nope. Scorpio stellium mode. We are born with trust issues, and we will die with trust issues. Anyway, so when you have that driving force as the main, because they have the most cards here. I know, but the 3D has a lot more cards. 5D not so many. They got 2 cards. Dango. That's okay. It's early yet. It just happened on the 19th, so. Alright, let's get this middle row just taken care of. What do we got for the Hierophant? And this 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords. Alright. The Peacemaker. Okay. Well, that would be a miracle in and of itself, wouldn't it? Okay, so then for the 9 of Swords, I'm getting the Spirit plane. The middle of the 8 of Birds in reverse. The 5 of Trees. Which, trees in this deck are Pentacles, so somebody's feeling left out in the cold. Ooh, and the 10 of Birds in reverse. Okay. So Yeah, they don't really have an option. They got to start working towards peace here, because otherwise, I think the majority now understands that this particular narrative that's running the show is based off religion and religious programming. Okay. And the spirit plane is not letting them get away with this any longer. So they are being held to... they're being held to the fire here in a major, major way. But again, I think this is the Knight of... or no, is that the Star card? Let me think. Blah, 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 blah. The Peacemaker is the King of Cups. I hope this does so great. Okay. This one is the Cosma Visions Oracle by James R. Eads. So the King of Cups is got the Hierophant and the Ace, or the Three of Wands, which is Sun in Aries, which is... Aries is war. That's interesting. They're making it look like it's a peacemaker, but that Three of Wands is driving war forward. It's got the focal point, the sun. It's the spotlight, Leo. War is the spotlight for the Hierophant. Duh. But they're masking it. See, this guy's got a mask on. You can't even see his face. You can see a little bit of his chin and his forehead. He's got a mask on. The moon. The moon is covering his face. Holy bejesus, this is really fascinating. And he's holding, but see how he's holding up the sign? And we've got the sun over here in Aries, which is war. So it's, and he's pouring out a cup here. Emotion. He's playing with the emotions of the situation. Ooh. Okay. So the sun is masculine. The moon is feminine. They are pointing at women and making them the villain right now. How? I don't know. You're evil. We're going to take away your reproductive rights. Now start having babies. Man. I quit paying attention after a while because I was like, this doesn't even make any sense. This does not make any sense at all. I can't keep it straight. So the spiritual realm, or spirit plane over here with the 9 of Swords. Five of Trees in the upright. 8 of Swords and 10 of Swords in the reverse. This has the flavor, which is a weird word, but I'm trying to pick the best ones I can find right now, is they're not going to see. They're not going to come to a knowing and an understanding because the Ace of Swords is in the reverse as well. They do not have clear knowing. They don't have any clarity in the mental plane. Mostly because they are... When this dude enters the picture, you are not allowed to be in your mental faculties. Okay? They will put you here every time. They will put you in the King of Cups in all your feels. Okay? Now, I get that he's in the the upright right now, but the outcome here is the 9 of Swords. And you have the Ace of Swords in reverse, you have the 10 of Birds in reverse, and the 8 of Swords in reverse. The only thing that's in the upright is the 9, which is mental torment. Can't sleep, can't function. And this says to me here, these 3 cards right here, just scream to me. And you can see there's a skeleton. There's quite a few skeletons in here, actually, if you look at it really closely. But there's a very large skeleton that you can see, obviously, right there. Okay, so this tells me that they... Oh, no, he's snoring. They are not going to be able to see this. See how the sun is setting back here? And it feels like it's hidden by even more trees or clouds or something is hazing it over. They are not going to see or understand that they are birds in cages and that their enlightenment what's that Greek god? Was it Prometheus who got punished? And so Zeus had his liver eaten out every day? I think it was Prometheus, wasn't it? That's giving me Prometheus vibes right now, and that's never done that before. But it feels like that's what's it's like a continuum of suffering. So they're gonna keep going on the same path because they cannot see, because of this heir to the spirit of illusion, the Hierophant, coming in and just running sheer effery on their minds and hearts. Ooh. Because when that practice, again, going back to the narrative of when abuse or neglect is present, there cannot be any love. Excuse me again. I'm not drinking anything carbonated. Anyway. So this is, and the Hermit in reverse. Let me get... See, they should be taking some time out to reflect, but instead they're fucking protesting women for their... Oh, there's the 9 of Birds again. Okay, sorry. I wanted to make sure. They're like, I said what I said. Okay. I hear you. Okay. So they said what they said. They said what they haven't said. You see it? The 9. There's the 9 at the top of the card. And, or no. That's there's the, I'm confusing my 9s and my 6s because they keep coming uprighter. So, okay. They said what they said. So the spirit plane is like, we on it. We see it. We know. So we're just going to leave that alone. We're not going to do anything with that because addressing that, we all know what that's going to lead to. And then we're all going to be forced to snuggle up with bears for the winter. Okay? So don't. Please don't. Get yourself. I've said this for years now. It's one of those things where you just fucking hate being right. So get yourself self-defense, weapons training, mace. Learn how to use everything. Don't just go and buy it. Learn how to use it. Load it. Reload it. Take the safety out of it. Put the safety back on it. If you have little ones around, you keep that thing locked up. There's mechanisms you can put next to your bed with a fingerprint on it so they can't even hack it that way. Okay? I know. It sucks. So, but you do have to understand that we already have the edge and they see that and they're pissed. Okay, so 70% of all homeowners are women. There's a graph that shows like the males getting college diplomas, or women getting college diplomas, and they literally intersect and the women goes up and the men go down. I mean, it's literally a giant X. So, They're pissed about that. But the unfortunate part is the males are now getting more ignorant, where the females are getting more intelligent. And male ignorance breeds violence. So we need to be cautious. We need to be aware of that, vigilant about it. Okay, use the buddy system when you're going out. Shack up with your girlfriend. Do the golden girl thing. Start at 20 years old. Golden girl. Get yourself some cheesecake and a freaking lanai, ladies. We got this. Okay. Okay. Don't panic. Be prepared. Or something like that. Okay. Let's do the 5D. And on a good note. Lord. And again, they're gonna, the males that push back. Safe place on the internet for that type of narrative is the speech professor. It's the only safe space as far as men talking about this sort of thing. At least that I found, not that I go hunting for them. All right, this is the 7 of birds in reverse. So, okay, don't lie to yourselves. Get that shit going. Okay. Make sure there's no lies in your foundation. So if you're still operating off, if you're using the J word from the regale, the religious narrative, the big J man, Jesus is in charge, blah, 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 that's still the same program. So I love how people are like, I just need my binky and my blankie and the religion can stay over there. No, honey, you gotta put the binky and the blankie down too. Time to grow up. Take responsibility for your own actions. Jesus is not coming to save you. The second coming was here and he didn't kill himself. Okay, so this is difficult. Yes, absolutely. At the same time, if you keep holding on to that narrative, you're gonna stay trapped in the 2D. And when you are not meeting the same reality as all the people around you that are in the 5D, you are going to become irrational, emotionally imbalanced, and extremely difficult to deal with. And then you're going to have to self-isolate and redo the work all over again. Just do it now. Okay? Spare yourself that heartache. Okay? All right. Life on Earth. 3 of birds. No shit. The Wanderer upside down. And past lives upside down. Okay. So 5D is very much in a notion of right now brokenheartedness, because we do have to leave so much behind. Just from personal experiences alone, it's a lot. It's a lot. You have to shed, a lot you have to release, and a lot of things that you thought, or a lot of relationships especially, all of those beautiful tapestries you wove together with people are now in tatters and useless, and they're not going to keep anybody warm. Okay. And that's heartbreak material. And so maybe you're coming to this isolation period where you don't feel like wandering out too much. You want to stay hermited. And that's what, a lot of us are feeling, especially for this month of December. We don't want to be around people anymore because we've just had a reality check. That there's a large portion of people on the planet, not just in the US, but people on the planet in general, that want to see women and children brought down on every level of life. And that's a really difficult reality to try to digest and then go out into the world with any confidence, right? So, I think what we're doing is flushing past lives down. It's a huge topic of discussion this last Sunday. Huge topic of just purging that karmic past life contracts, whatever you had with soulmates and whatever else, because you can only go through so many of those things where you're ticking with people. You're like, oh my gosh, we tick the same. This is so great. And so you extend yourself, and then the other person just cuts off the limb. And so you begin to understand that, okay, this is the universe's way of saying, yeah, maybe not. So you just don't. You just stop. And no more lying to yourself about that. Right? So again, operating from the truth, which is real love, the only love that ever has been or ever will be, is your own avocation for your own spiritual expansion or someone else's. And I know that's gonna hurt, and it hurt me too, but at the same time, I got to relax in my skin. I got to feel the feels, and I got to understand that I wasn't the one that was missing the mark. It wasn't me. It was just not something defective in me that's blocking love. Which is so fucking liberating, it's not even funny. So it wasn't me the whole fucking time. I thought it was me. I'm like, obviously I have blocks to love because I can't feel it for nothing. But the only thing that, like, I kept through all this was this spiritual path. The only thing that, like, helped with anything was this spiritual path. That's it, that's all. Okay? So, whether it's tarot cards or crystals or sound healing or vibrational healing or helping things grow or all of the above. It can be all of the things, because for me it is. Help you spiritually expand so you can turn around and help others do the same. And again, you don't have to narrow it down to just romantical love. Okay? And just so you're aware, in the spiritual community, there are very few males. There's one in our group, but he's married, obviously. And this one chick keeps asking him, did you tell your friends yet? But the thing is, frankly, I feel more comfortable with just being. I mean, he's cool. I like him. I can make an exception. He's never done anything. He's very, in fact, like when I told him, I watched this video where there's this, real love. He asked me to repeat it while his wife was present, and he got choked up, and it was really sweet. So it's just, you gotta find the right Y chromosome to stay with you. And he's very chill. So chill. He just like, whatever. I don't care. He just doesn't care about the shit that you're not supposed to care about in the first place. So understand that this is not this. There's no dating app for this. There's no dating app. You're like, I use spiritual person, because all you're gonna get is a bunch of fakes and frauds. Be like, yeah, I teach yoga.